Hey guys, welcome to the Binge Zone. On today's video, we're going to be looking at the Netflix original miniseries Stateless, and where do I even begin? Um, when it comes to Stateless, when I read the premise and it's based on a true story, they got me. Anything based on a true story, I'm there. I'm a sucker. You can say this paper is based on a true story. I'm watching it, right? Because I just love real life events and dramatizing real life. So I'm in there. And then I start watching Stateless, and I have to say, the first episode, oh man, the first episode had me hooked. The last episode, pretty good too. And what do these two episodes have in common? Because the middle episodes were such a fucking slog. Well, the first episode and the last episode featured the character of Amir prominently. Now, Amir is an Afghani refugee who's trying to find safe haven in Australia, and this entire miniseries is about the Australian immigration system, DEMA, the way they put their immigrants in pseudo concentration camps, and I really wanted to know more about it. With the backdrop of the main character Sophie, who's based on a true story of a Australian woman who was detained there for months, I'm like, holy shit, how could this oversight happen? I'm glued, I'm interested. I want to see the intricacies of immigration outside of the United States. So I'm watching and I'm glued and I'm hyped. And you have Jai Courtney, Kate Winslet. Ah, damn, I forgot the actress name who plays Sophie. Well, her name is here. You have all these actors, great actors. I'm like, okay, shit. They're about to take me on a journey, an emotional roller coaster as I learn more about the system. And then I find myself watching a bunch of white people be sad. Yeah. This entire story was based on the premise of Australia, their immigration system. And during the trailers, you see a prominent inclusion of Amir, his family, and just the plight of the Afghani refugees. Not just them, but all sorts of Middle Eastern and African refugees who made their way to Africa. And every time we're in one of those stories, every time, whether it's Amir, whether it's Javad, all these other different characters in the show, when the focus is on them and their plight and just the bullshit that they have to go through for them to find safe haven, oh man, great, emotionally riveting. I'm in there. But every time it shifts to Sophie's character or to Claire, who is the immigration officer, or Jai Courtney's character, who I have to say, I was almost on board with his character, but as the show went on, I'm just sitting here like, yo, this show's focusing mainly on the problem of the immigration officer, the white lady who is Australian, is in there. I mean, granted, I understand the plight and her mental illness. I understand how she got there. But yo, like, I don't fucking care about the burdens of an immigration officer or the burdens of an immigration caseworker or the immigration liaison. Like, I don't give a fuck about any of them. Let's be realistic here. Like, the plight of immigration really comes from the immigrants themselves, their journey, what they're going through, their emotional toil, and the weight that they are having, not the weight of the bureaucrats who are put in charge of these situations and who are doing a shit job. And I'm sorry, I couldn't relate. As I'm watching the show, I'm sitting here like waiting and waiting for it to get better, waiting for me to be invested again, and waiting for me to be drawn in. And every time I see Amir and his flashback, or I found out about his daughter, the mother, Javad, when he escaped to find his family, all that shit is like, whoa, this is the show I tuned in for. Like, we had a whole camp, a concentration camp of immigrants with stories to tell and different backstories. It could have been the clash of 4 different groups, right? Or shit, fuck it. Give me 2 main immigrants and you can have your 2 main white bureaucrats, whatever, right? And you have them in there, and I'm watching. But if I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna watch a show about white guilt, I'm gonna be like, bruh, like, is this what we're doing? Is this what we're doing? Is this the crux of it? Granted, this is based on a true story, so I understand the main character has to be Sophie. It's her journey. But then even when dealing with that, compared to the other characters, it's just like, okay, I understand her plight. I understand what she's doing there. I understand it all. And it's sad what happened to her being in a cult. You see, her story, fine, it works in the grand scheme of things because she's also inside of the concentration camp. So she is going through those things. So I understood that part. But when you're telling me I'm gonna have to follow Claire, I'm just thinking like, okay, This lady is in charge. She can make change, but she's not. And I'm supposed to care because she feels bad that she's hearing sad stories and like this is terrible. You are in charge. Do something. I don't give a fuck about your character. And then you have Jai Courtney's character, and I'm wishy-washy on that. And that's only because as I'm watching it, I'm like, okay, he is a good guy, and because of what he has to deal with at work, I can see his journey. I can see how he becomes that or how it plays a toll on him. But again, not to sound insensitive, or to be insensitive, I didn't come here for that. I did not come here to watch three white main characters. It's three white main characters who feel guilty about their place in immigration and how they could be doing a better job, but they're not, and in one immigrant family. Do with it as you will. I'm very disappointed in this series as a whole because, like, I thought you could really do some crazy stuff here. Give voice to the voiceless. Like, I didn't even know, like, Afghani and Middle Eastern people took boats from Afghanistan all the way to Australia. Like, holy shit, that is a perilous journey. That's like, Jesus. And there's shitty boats too. So you could see, like, the intrigue there. Like, you have something. And then once they get there, the stuff they have to go through, adapting to a language that they don't understand while being in concentration camps, and having to make sort of like underground railroad connections. Oh man, like the possibilities were endless, but then we got this shit. Anyway, guys, like there's not much for me to say. I was thoroughly disappointed. I'm done, man. I'm done. Anyway, guys, thumbs up this. Like, subscribe, comment. I'm done. I'm out of here. This is, I just can't do it.